on behalf of government. It's not easy for me to convince the public, but therefore you should be very smart enough to be honest. Whatever information you pass on to the public, not for cover up. The whole thing is for you to tell the public what the truth is. We get a saying in PR, for say when you are communicating with the vast majority of the public, what you do is to give them 70% truth, and the 30% you can manipulate for your own political reasons. Yeah. So we don't believe in that anymore. What we believe now is that let us tell the people the truth and what is happening. And I see efforts by people who are where they talk for government or where they talk for the institution, they try for cover up. Now, when you cover up, public confidence is lost. And what we want to achieve now is to make sure that we get the confidence of the public. If we don't get the confidence of the public, they cannot help us to fight these drugs. I need the cooperation of the public for we fight these drugs. If we accept, say, this drug is here, and once it is here, what do we do to make sure that we contain it? So this was why I suggested some of these issues to the president. But now it's a matter of public confidence for a start. Yeah. And I identified some areas, some people, key stakeholders of the public, where we bring them closer to the government, let the president talk to them on a one-to-one basis, make the version of government to them people here, right? We say, for example, take the journalists. We say, take the people, the Christians, the imams, the reverends, etc., etc. These are key holders in the system. The women's organizations, and a good number of other organizations, call them together, sit down, and talk to them, tell them this is what I am going to do to address this issue. Because public anxiety now is that, okay, the drugs are here, but what is government doing to fight this problem? And this is why you should communicate more effectively. In that letter, I said it is good for us to have press releases. Good. It is good for us to have what you call address to the nation. Very good. But that alone is not enough. You need to get public confidence. Call these people and tell them what the situation is, and allow them also to be part of the conversation. Because what is also weak in this country now is conversation, communicating with the public. And
good morning, and welcome to a program what we call KOL RES. We have on YouTube and on Facebook, so we can discuss issues. Then, where the front page of the different newspaper, then the people do for the morning. After we can all look at what in the paper them say, we can bring people inside where they can help you for discuss the different issues. Them very sorry again today. Again for the apologize to now. Then this day also because of this unforeseen circumstance, and again for continue to out this week, but very much sorry. Alright, so we go straight and begin look at what's in the front page of the different newspaper them and see how we guess them can do come inside. I'd open the gates for them as well. If they come inside, we go straight and start the discussion inside the program this morning. And the first paper, where we actually the look at inside the program this morning, and the Voice of Salone newspaper. Voice of Salone newspaper say fire on the mountain as Alfred Peter Conte plans to take APC back to court, and Finance Ministry and partner review public debt management and regulatory framework. Benghazi, a torture house, victim recount ordeal behind bars. We go to the Daybreak newspaper. Kasafoni under siege, Finance Minister accused. SLPP Deputy National Chairman Peel, diaspora at New Jersey. Finance Minister's visit to Kasafoni sparked controversy. And we go to the former newspaper. Parliament engages action against hunger on programs. And you as well get from classroom to crowds. Dr. Ibrahim Bangoura political baptism in Bo and Lonsar. Sierra Leone showcases petroleum investment opportunities at TICA 2025. The Salon Compass newspaper, Monopoly Mafia exposed. Shalima strangled TVS bike keke market. And you as well get a brand power, why every leader must be their chief marketing officer. Spotlight shine on Dr. Ibrahim Bangoura. The next paper, now the feature newspaper, government owes schools 110 billion. Radio Okentu gets new manager And other story then for inside this edition, MP invites PS others. And the next one, now the Unity newspaper, UN impressed by Sierra Leone's major development gains amid global challenges. And Chairman Batilo Songa received Rosin welcome in the UK with a strong message of peace, unity, and consolidation. CM joins Captown resident on inclusive development, and Salon and Panama find common ground in Brussels. The New Citizen newspaper, Kasafoni Saga, gentle reacts to finance minister's claim, and Jala University, okay, APC pushes for a referendum to determine PR system. The next one are the AZ newspaper, finance minister clarifies Kasafoni land lease dispute, and over 653,300 unpaid freight levy. NIA shuts down Dangote cement operations. And then we go to another paper inside the program this morning. Continue for the way inside the show. Another paper inside the program this morning, the satellite newspaper. APC in serious legal dilemma, and you as well get with annual surface rent of $118,000. Paramount Chief of Sambaya Chiefdom endorsed SLMM DMC's land lease agreements. The next one inside the program this morning at the Calabash newspaper, we say Dr. Austin Denby champions health dialogue at WHO RC70 dialogue at WHO RC70 ministers breakfast in Lusaka. And SLCAA DG leads Sierra Leone's push for connectivity and capacity building at TICAT 9. And NGC crisis, PPRC warns just made Suma against this misrepresentation. And Sierra Leone breaks ground on first ever canopy walkway at Taco Gama. The next one we get inside the program, the Independent newspaper, Mr. President, can we talk part 227? The Local Content Act should supersede a case for Kasafoni mining lease agreement. And you as well get a leader in the field, Dr. Ibrahim Bangura, weekend political stampede. The next one are the exclusive newspaper, no rigging in 2028, ECSL assures, and other story then for inside this edition of the exclusive newspaper. City Hunter newspaper with a perilous neglect at EBK Coast Potloko, snake field and forgotten students. And you as well get from scarcity to stability, NPRA's success story under Brahma Balwa Kuruma. Let's Gentle Group invest. Urgent action needed in addressing the Kasafoni crisis. And you go to the next one, we're at the Rolling Stone. SLMMDMC signed land lease agreement with three chiefdom, and SLPP deputy national chairman rallies diaspora support, and JWB honors Dalan CEO. The next one, where we get inside the program this morning, now the eminent newspaper minister Denby convenes African health ministers for a breakfast meeting at RC75 Lusaka, and you as well get SLMMDMC signed line lease agreement with three chiefdom. The next one, now the political newspaper say government denounces real agreement with Gentle Group, and Guild chairman worried over press freedom in Sierra Leone, more rain ahead. The next one, now the Global Times newspaper, for supporting President Bio, Chief Kadiru Kaikai expresses gratitude to Western Region Tribal Heads. And we have issued 5 G trial licenses to all MNOs. NATCA spokesman confirmed. Deputy, the deplorable state of EBK University, Dr. Austin Denby hosts African Health Minister breakfast meeting at RC75 Lusaka. CDS attends CDS summit in Abuja. The next one, where we get inside the program now, the Source newspaper say NPRADG demonstrate downstream potential in Sierra Leone, and you as well get Moped suspend 16 NGOs, Parliament end oversight on local council nationwide, IG Cello confirmed in South Africa. The next one, another Open Space newspaper, with a Honorable Robin Fallet celebrated in Potloko as a symbol of unity and inclusion, and the conjunction with SLMMDMC, three Paramount chiefs signed landmark lease agreement. and you as well get other story for inside this edition of the Open Space newspaper. The Expo Times government shut down Dangote Cement factory over 653,300 United States dollar unpaid tax debt, and NPRA boss participates at SICA 2025 conference in Yokohama. I'm very much sorry. I'll take a short break quick and I'll come back just now.
Well, a very serious problem. When things like happen in any country, it can almost develop into some kind of embarrassment for the country. Drugs then just come overtake almost everything in this country. So some of who will not just believe for the criticize, we also believe so for come with solutions and observations. So the letter was just a piece of a letter which I wrote to the president to just remind him that it's his responsibility for help for make we all fight this whole menace. And also importantly, we all not forget, say, only a few months, a few weeks ago, we all been concerned about the Kush in this country. We don't overtake everything. All of us are victims.
Okay, I'm very, very sorry about that. And they take few paper them, and then we come over to we guest them within inside the program this morning. And of course, okay, I think we go now to a guest. That might be the last paper, in fact. So sorry about that. We go now over to we guest them. We're not waste any more time for we get them and start the discussion inside the program this morning. And we go to two of we guests that we don't join in at the show. Two of we guests that we don't join in at the show. We get first JBCC, we be not joined with the other day for talk about several issues, them especially the case na the ECOWAS Parliament ECOWAS Court. Good morning, welcome to the program.
Good morning, Mr. Sengbepe, and good morning, Fambuna. Good morning, no. I hope everybody's fine, everybody well this morning. Thank you.
And I want to apologize that I start with you late because of one or two things that we are not able to control. Sorry about that.
Understandable.
Chairman Wadi Williams, welcome. All right, Wadi, okay, always the fight with the internet. Okay, always the fight with the internet because of the bad network. Of course, I don't go out. They come back just now, for we can continue. But we get a lot of things them we look at inside the program this morning. This is not paper review, and after that, we go actually touch on the very much important things them they for talk about. We get for do with the ECOWAS courts. Chairman Wadi don't do join with it again. Chairman Wadi, good morning. You get me now?
Good morning. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, I will hear you fine right now.
Wonderful.
How the morning?
We depend. I'm really impressed with your program, as usual.
Thank you. And I want to apologize that I start late to now this morning.
No, they send the bill. No, Mr. PM.
Trust you, lawyers, you say. Trust you.
All right. So we go straight, and I actually divert to a small bit, to something else inside the program this morning. I want to start with the what in Una first of all think about the electoral cycle right now inside the country, as we talk about several things, including the PR system, including the statement of the ECSL boss and all. I'll start with you, Wadi. You don't follow the events inside the country?
Very closely. I think these are crucial issues in determining how the political system here will function. The two contending perspectives are either we continue with the first past the post, or
all right, you did it?
I think everybody agrees that the first past the post is at its best when basically you have two, at most three parties. That way you almost guarantee that whoever wins a constituency will have more than 50% of the votes. And this is the key about democracy. You also, with first past the post, you have an individual where you can address relating to the problems that exist in your constituency. So now one of the key factors of when they refer to as first past the post. On the other hand, with proportional representation, you have a more accurate reflection of the votes where people can cast. So now the two contending where they call the one. And as we try to say, which one is best for Sierra Leone? Well, let's just give you now one example. In the 2018 elections, wait till we find out in one constituency, and I won't name it specifically, in one constituency in the East, somebody win that seat there with 27% of the votes. That means, say, 73 or 76% or 77% no vote for that individual day. That individual day in a parliament. Now,
right, we will see what thing they actually happen if the network they continue this kind of way. We will likely get for change over to the WhatsApp with Wadi. And I want to apologize again to all the watch me. Please wait. Please do not want to watch me. I'm very much sorry that young producer, the police behind the scene for me. I'm very sorry. But I can move over to you, JBCC, quickly. You know, if you can take the baton from outside, Wadi just the rest. So, what do you yourself think about the political situation right now? The PR system versus what they happen right now? Appointment of different electoral commissioner, then even people and
I'm sorry. I had a connectivity problem just now. But listen, we haven't said just to cap this issue. In the proportional representation, the percentage of the votes where you get, there are a number of seats there you get. But the problem with the list system is that no one individual, you're not going to go to one individual and say, look, I'm constituency MPs, I want to see them they address this problem or that problem. So one of the strengths of proportional representation, one of the strengths of first past the post. So far, in party terms, and I'll tell you, I only speak on behalf of a party for doing this, but in party terms, APC of the view that we should continue with first past the post and all the problems with that. SLC, on the other hand, are claiming they want a proportional representation. And let me say this. Both of them have strength. Both of them have certain weaknesses. The question is, how can we actually get the benefit from both these systems? Let's say something a little controversial, Maya. Now, what thing I suggest is this. We should first of all realize that we can have the best of both systems. I know say this is a radical idea. And follow me with this one here. I'll explain. Okay, we should have the best. Instead of the usual process now where you have a constituency and now that way no more would get MP in a parliament, or as the current we forget proportional representation where we get 11.9% of the vote before the even regard we as opposition. Well, I suggest we bring them two systems here into one. Let me first of all have two separate issues. We forget two votes. One for the individual, that is the constituency MP where we want, and a second vote for the party where we support.
Okay.
That will mean we will have the individual day where we can go to directly to address the issue in our constituency individually. We will also be able to have a parliament that reflects the actual vote where people then cast. So I suggest say we could adjust from 11.9% entry level for the proportional representation, bring it down to the rest of the world NDA, which is about 3%. So if you get 3% of the vote from that position on, you get that percentage of the seats where available. We go find out, say we get the benefit of individual representation. By that I mean the constituency MP. We will get the benefit of an accurate reflection of the percentage of votes where people in cast for the party. That we feel say go allow we forget enjoy the benefits of both systems. Because to get either or, there's fundamental flaws where I don't explain that. So to go proportional representation means say we will have a duopoly, because basically only two parties right now are in a position to deliver 11.9%, which is the entrance level. Only two parties can do it for the moment. So it could well be that the reason why APC, SLPP, they make this demand, what we refer to as a due.
Okay, we very much saw you again. We actually get challenged with Wadi.
APC.
Okay, please go ahead.
APC is committed to first past the post. Well, that has problems because, as I've been explained earlier on, constituency day where the post will represent that constituency, now 27% of the votes no more you get.
I think we're struggling. The best thing, let's go to WhatsApp.
Exactly, and that's not the situation with Salon. But if you take them from there, please.
Okay. If I may be heard, fumble now do again. Basically, waiting, I think, actually, between the two choices we get for make as provided for in the Constitution. Now, either we go for first past the post, or go for the proportional representative, what they call simply the PR system. Now, people where they man them political parties, then where they vie for their offices, they then get few things that they look at to an advantage. Of course, it is the case. Say when it is by the first past the post mechanism is used in a particular area, wherein about 40 or 45% of the electorates actually not vote for you, and in the party we get in this, like we get this electoral system, we in a multi-tier system, they vote for every other officer of our legislation or our administration. Okay, if you vote, the first past the post gets disadvantage to some voters because we appear say one person will get 45% of the electorates in a particular constituency. Sorry, Chairman, let me just go. It is still intervening. Can I continue?
Yes, please continue.
Okay, wait.
Continue. I'm having a problem with connectivity now.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, Chair. Now, the post where they get 45%, as they say, it always feels in people are not represented. If the post where beat them, now only 47 or 46% you get. Bearing in mind, other people all go down vote. Those are not actually voting for the person who emerged as the winner. Now they would see the downside, okay, of it. But in party politics, in the party situation, in the PR system now, it's not a viable way to look at it for saying that way would take for make elections go through. Why? Because not everybody's effort will be counted on, because they will not take for a particular area the division of whichever they get, if that is even calculated in a very strictly calculated with the strict voting numbers. Them anyway, let's start from there. But what did they happen in that case? Now, when the proposal they attempt for divide the votes on the basis of a particular percentage of votes. The one who get that voted and get 2%, two MPs or 3 MPs. The one who get certain vote and get no MP. Okay. But when you look at it, you will find out, say, not just so actually they vote. People then vote in higher proportion, because they get them candidates. Hoping they go get. Nobody will be for account now for what actually the one candidate who then want gets. So therefore, it will derail the trust of the system, which is why in our constitution, it is provided for only use the PR system when there are other issues of emergency in a particular place where strict voting interpretation not possible because of either security or potential maybe a pandemic of any whatever it is. That's why it's provided for as a way out to mend the situation. If the PRs, the professional representative, the first past the post cannot actually be effectively translated to facts, then we use the PR. So we'll take a rational kind of averagely. That's why we talk about the PR. The PR is talking about in average. This is what we take. You understand? But that will make that party they will be get representatives in that place for stand for the election, the very elections. They will go void because the way then only divided to have whatever they want. So you go give we an MP, one not saying we want, but in the force are on we because a party will benefit out of it. They will force to we an MP who no wants. Then if you cannot, and the other one now the one that will lost on the PR system, they don't will be represented. The other will be the vote for that person. They're not going to be represented. That now the whole thing. That is why it should be used when it is absolutely necessary, not just because it is as an option. We for use the PR system when it is absolutely necessary, in the sense that that particular place, the number one, campaign is not going to be worthwhile there. Number two, there is maybe kind of an outbreak of a particular disease where they don't want to go all over the country through voting. Number four, maybe it's security issues. And I mean, they always put an academic will get in our constitution as an alternative, just in case it's difficult to do this. We use the PR system, and that make a so not for use them as the standard of elections, because it will bring more unfairness to electorates than it does when it is the first past the post. I don't know my one for you.
Okay, continue with inside the program. What did you get me?
Just before we switch, democracies in the world today that use the PR system as part of their electoral process and system. Some then use the very system where they suggest so, which is people then you vote not just for an individual MP, but they vote for a particular party.
Yes.
So at the end of the process, then we'll get individual representation for the constituency. They will also get a more accurate reflection of the actual votes where people then cast. And now, see if we can get the best of both worlds. There is a fundamental problem with them two systems here. First past the post, unless you have only two parties, then and only then can you be guaranteed that the representative of that constituency has the majority vote, has 50+1 of the votes at least, when you get only two parties. If you get 17 parties like we get now, if possible, do the first past the post, let one person win that seat with 15%. That means, say, 85% no vote for that person. Yeah, that person will represent some side where 85% people will not vote for that. That is one of the flaws in first past the post when you have multiple parties.
I agree.
And in Sierra Leone, we have a very complex, in many ways, politically fractured society. Beaucoup people then, beaucoup party then they. And if not beaucoup party we get, rest assured, first past the post is not the best option. Now, however, when we get beaucoup party, so if we use the proportional representation and we bring the threshold down to about 3%, that means, say, beaucoup people then will get representation in parliament. Which means, say, all the rules or laws that we pass, the bills where we pass in parliament, will reflect the will of the vast majority of this nation. Yeah, because if the people are not green at parliament, then you cannot pass those bills. So now the two systems with it. Within that is say the conjunction, not for either proportional representation or first past the post. No, the conjunction should be and. Let me take aspects of the system here where we feel say they work properly, merge them into a system for we own country that reflects the needs of we own country. First past the post will not work where you have 17 parties. Likewise, the list system where we get in proportional representation will not work, because here we are such a diversified and complex society that we need to ensure that as many constituencies actually get representation in parliament. So I know this sounds controversial, but I would suggest we give all man 2 votes. When you go there, you vote for the individual where you want another constituency there, and you also vote for the party where you support. Now, it might not be the same. For example, in a constituency, say, where you have, say, Lawyer Cisse and, say, Mr. Kago, but Lawyer Cisse belongs to a party, whether to my own party, I vote for Lawyer Cisse because in that constituency there, he is the best candidate. But by the same token, I vote for my party because in constitution, in manifesto, speaks directly to me. So I vote for the party, not that I want. I vote for the individual, it don't matter whether I'm in party or not. because 9 are the best person in that particular constituency there. You will get a far more representative parliament if we use that method. But I know say, one, we would have to increase the number of MPs, and Boku people not support that idea. So I would say, let us look at the way of bringing these two systems together in a workable manner. Over to you, Sengwe.
All right. Thank you very much, Wadi Williams. And where you don't want to take it for analyze that particular issue for we. And let's take on a bit. You know, I want to save the last for all the best for the last. Let's touch on something we just come out yesterday. You know, a lot of appointments and don't come up this BNT. But the one we keep people talking, we all talking, now the appointment of the Anta family. You know, the Anta family, let's just go through them quickly, let's just, tell you now, again, the different appointments then, plus the different, role we then get for the play. Maybe let's just go through a quick one and let we all hear in case you missed that one day. The program now Korea site on we are at YouTube and on Facebook. Okay, these are the appointments then at the center project for you. We no been done see yet, legal see. So this one, first one we'll get now Mrs. Fatme Sahid Anta in the appointment as special envoy for investment and infrastructural project. The other person now Fasai Anta, where an appointment as special envoy for tourism and investment. The other one, Mohammed Anta, Daklara Mohammed Anta, appointment special envoy for trade and investment. And the last one, Jihad and Eta, where appointment as special envoy for Eastern and Central Europe. You know, these are the latest appointments yesterday. Plus, although they say that one they are not forget any salary. In fact, that then good day for help the country. But what in una think as Sierra Leoneans them where they follow things and where they happen inside the country? JB, you first.
Well, thank you, Mr. Sengwe. Kind of a bizarre situation. Now, what Timmy could say in this? For me, on personal comment, I don't see them. I don't see the merits because one thing I do know. For appoint anybody in any public office, we the nation or part of that nation will get for depend on for the things we look for, would they first of all vet the individual in your competence. Now, I can't say whether or not those people meet the threshold for the competence to be appointed on that particular post. If they do, I have no concern about this. Okay. Again, the fact is very, very seldom. It's, in my view, this is in fact is a novelty. Say one particular family they get same appointments, unless they are actually a coincidence of names. But if not the same family, then something fishy is must be happening. That needs to be looked into much more in detail. So, but first of all, also how they begin for do with appointments there. Now, for bear in mind, say, would they appoint people on the basis of their merits? That is meritocracy, not of favoritism. If it is because somebody buying your way out, not expect, say, that person will deliver as you'd expect. So, but if somebody merits them, well, he go compete for make sure, say, the merits where he merits them, not go sound hollow after I don't take up the office. So now that make the thing say, I don't know what was the criteria set in selecting those people for those appointments. My expectation is that they would have been vetted properly and established the fact, say, they actually merit those positions. If they don't, then there is where the issue. For instance, one said for tourism and business, the other one for represent trade and business. I don't understand this. And new offices or administrations now established. I'm not too familiar with them. Maybe they have been there, maybe they have not been there. Me not supposed to always be involved in political affairs. So if they are meritorious in those appointments, I see nothing wrong. But if they are not, if they are proven to be not actually meritorious to those positions, then there's a need for us to further make inquiry into why were they appointed. And if we find out, see, that because of whatever it is, but it's not part of our employment criteria, then those people go raise a roar to people in their minds about why they were appointed in the first place. I'm not too concerned about the fact that they bear the same name. don't do not be concerned.
Yes.
It could raise some suspicion, but that's not a big concern. The
Okay.
concern I hold, are they meritorious? That's all I care about.
I take something yesterday. Well, something in there I can blame myself because I not to understand English. But now I read this file for you, and please tell me what you think. Normally, what we can say as he pleases His Excellency the President to appoint. Now we can normally see na press release them whether they make appointments. But this one completely different. This now waiting a read like. It says pursuant to section 53 of the Constitution of Sierra Leone 1991, His Excellency the President has graciously approved your appointment as special envoy. The one approved now maybe gets problem with sir. Because normally not all the president can approve, rather than he can appoint.
Correct.
I don't understand waiting this happen. And yesterday I found it difficult because I don't understand better English. So please you can break down the for we understand.
Well, I hope I'm able. The problem here is when you say somebody approve, that means not the final someone where they give a green light to a particular operation to be carried out. Mm-hmm. Now, like you say, it appears a bit strange because normally the president, in his wisdom, by the powers vested on him, he get the ability for appoint, but then subject to parliamentary approval. Now that the way we know him all the time.
Yes.
If this thing goes the other way, then that puts me into a further need for make further inquiries or further investigation as to why that has to be that way. Okay? But again, I still come to the same point. See, if he's meritorious, found to be meritorious, we can put aside the style by which he came into the job aside if he can perform well. Because all we're looking for now results. When somebody's employed into any capacity, now the result issue. So if the person is result-oriented somebody, we're not going to get much worry. I share your concern, say, normally the president appoint or and then subject to a particular approval, okay? But now you come the other way, approved. It sounds to me that if you don't get the appointment and given to him, but he was waiting for an approval. That's so it sounds. Now, whether that office day, your appointment or your employment, that's so it for go, it's a matter for us to make a further research and then find out where we go wrong. That more goes into that. So again, a case for you to study and see why it's coming the other way.
All right. What about you, Wadi? What do you want to take on the appointment there as well?
Well, first of all, waiting the happens in Salon is not unique. In South Africa, they had a similar problem with a family called the Guptas, where in many ways captured key institutions in that state. In this particular case, we must bear in mind the relationship between that family there and the current first family. There seems to me an almost incestuous relationship. Now, I say this very mildly, because one thing I try to say is this. For all the people in our salon, we all, after that 8 million day, now 4 or 5 people from that family, they're no more qualified for that position. It might well be true. Maybe they then get some unique skills them where nobody else in our salon will get. But as you pointed out, we really do need to look at what qualities they have. We talk about meritocracy. Which kind of skill them people are, or knowledge them people are, or talent them people are, the face camp for take them position here. And was it done because of their ability, or was there some other consideration? Well, we not get all the information for actually answer that question accurately. But I will say this: on previous occasions, and in other countries, and in terms here also, there has been a tendency to appoint people who lack the necessary qualification, but have the necessary political connection. And now the problem is this a political appointment, or is this really a meritocratic appointment? Now that question there we get proposed, and I don't want to prejudge that issue there, but there's something doesn't quite smell right about this series of appointments. And I will pause there and say it is symptomatic of the problem we get with government. The way when they define UDA for day in government, it's not by this simple process. We want people then we get ability, we want people then we integrity, and we want people then we definitely a patriotic. Hello. Then people are where they point to, did they meet those 3 criteria? That is the question. And well, the jury is out, as lawyer Sisego said. The jury is out on this issue. But I am far from comfortable. Over to you, Senga.
All right, continue for the with me. You still watch the program with KOL RES right on we are on YouTube and on Facebook. Now, let me come to election again. According to Isaac Massaquoi, when the talkman for the ECSL, it said 2028 election. Then no rigging no go take place. But in your boss, when the acting, chairman for the ECSL, where na Edmond Alpha say. But before I put that question, I'll ask the question, lawyer and JB. What make them go into the tripartite? And what make them put together recommendation? Please check your mic. You might, okay. Very well, thank you.
1, 2, you hear me now?
Yes, please, clear. Okay,
thank you very much. Which make we go to the tripartite? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes.
Correct. Okay. Now, Sierra Leone, we don't forget so many issues where we get for implement certain other issues by going through another way. And a mechanism where is supposed for continue for maintain the status quo where there is a challenge. Now, let's go back a few decades back. Following the uprising, the war led by Mr. Fudi Sanko. We look everywhere, all our laws in Sierra Leone, whether the biggest one, whether the Constitution or any other law, will not find a way for actually incorporate or for settle down with disputes. That is between the warring factions, the government then and the rebels. Will not find a law where we use how for settle them. If it costs the people of Sierra Leone and other experts into administration and what you call them, take a leap onto Togo, Lome, then go there, enter into an agreement that become an ad hoc. That's not the normal way. Now, an ad hoc principle. Then go down and say, okay, let's adopt this USA from here. Let's agree for so and so that we'll get peace in the country. That particular action not come from we lost them all. It comes from an agreement settled outside of our laws them. Okay? Now that the situation will be happen where they can make somebody who never stand for elections become the vice president of the country. That's now a bypassing of the legal hurdles because there are an emergency that needs to be attended to. Okay? That's settled. Now, when he come back home, before when they declare say the war over, at that time, I'll not be there in the country, but wise people come together and find out how we would try for settle all grievances, people who have been offended. Because the thing is, we all know each other in a saloon. Anybody do anything, somebody goes to So therefore, how for settle and put them aside, then they bring that truth and reconciliation mechanism. That's not a law. Now, just an ad hoc situation for settle a particular situation where we not get lost for. We can create what they call the truth and reconciliation, whereby people can come and confess publicly what they do and ask to be forgiven, and that became the status quo. Now, that brings me now to the tripartite arrangement. The tripartite was never there. It's not a law. It's not in our constitution, not in our laws. Okay? Hey, Lord God. I get for bandits. Sorry, sir.
No problem. I still watch KOL RES right on we are on YouTube and Facebook. Please continue.
It gets me back, sir. Sorry. When we can't go through the elections, what happened in 2023? We all, including you, see how things happen. We all voted. We all man sat in the polling stations. We saw one day see now we electoral cycles. This guy, I turned the phone off. Sorry, I turned the phone off.
We talk about why we go into the tripartite. Yes, please go ahead.
I'm saying. Not call me again, big.
All right, continue further with me inside the program. In JB, actually, at JBCC, when they talk about, the tripartite and why we go to them, why the recommendation at the same time, if they try for making an analysis into the one day, but somebody else be the disturb them, and that make it actually, don't turn the phone off. And I actually mute you because I know probably your voice come out. Yes, so please unmute now and take the platform again. All right. Why JBD settle quickly? What did I bring you inside? What do you self think? Because the original idea now for settle election, waiting don't happen other election, then not for happen again in the elections the way they come ahead. But what do you think about waiting make we really go into that?
Look, let me not forget, say, this whole tripartite agreement came out of a fundamental crisis of legitimacy. Now that informed this whole journey to tripartite. Let me not forget, say, during that period, they would get APC say they're not going to parliament, they're not going to do this, they're not going to do that. In other words, the political system was grinding to a halt. There was serious tension within the system. Now, the issue about the tripartite is not a constitutional institution, not the constitution create them. In fact, we think create the whole tripartite issue. Now, the illegitimacy of the of the government. Now, the tension will come from that, the political conflict will come from that. Nine then use this concept of a tripartite as a way of diffusing that problem. Now, my view, and let's say this before I go any further, this is my view. I'm not even say this now any other party or organization view. My view is that APC, having eventually agreed to participate with the tripartite, my view is they should have insisted that all those articles are implemented. Let me just give you one example where there is a problem. When they made this agreement, one of the provisions was that committee. Hello? Can you hear me? Right. One of the provisions was that committee would have access to information data that they deem necessary to further their discourse. On three occasions, they utilized that resolution 3 and requested the release of the disaggregated data as part of their inquiry into the whole electoral process. Do you know, on 3 separate occasions that committee preferred its request, ECSL summarily dismissed them. Now, they dismissed something that was woven into the tripartite agreement. They said that the committee had the responsibility and indeed the authority to request and demand that information. So we can see already that while we hear so much about the tripartite agreement, etc., what we need to look at, the devil is in the detail. Key aspects of that have been rejected by key institutions. We cannot, in all seriousness, overemphasize the flaw in the way this thing has been implemented and the complete disregard for what is proper that's been exercised by the government. Yes, 1 or 2 items have been sort of massaged into reality, but the key issue, and I believe that Mara, who was representing the APC, made it clear that Resolution 3 was the key factor for them. And what does Resolution 3 tell us? Resolution 3 tells us that they must not just investigate the election, but they were empowered to do what? To actually request data and information that would enable to do this, which included disaggregated data, RRFs, and so on. Now, and from that perspective, I am at best concerned that the APC, having agreed to the tripartite agreement, almost missed the ball, missed the goal, as it were. Because what we need to do now is to really mobilize, and by this I mean literally mobilize, to force this whole process to deliver on all, which includes release of the disaggregated data. Now, the question is whether we can bring pressure to bear so that this tripartite would come to mean something. I mean, them peripheral issues are quibbling over paying the MP the salary while they were their salaries while they were out of parliament. All that issue, they're yes, important for sure. But that in itself does not bring us closer to the truth, to the facts with regards what happened during the election. Our concern must be that we must ensure that the people's sovereignty is asserted. That means, say, wait till we don't vote, we want that result. I mean, all else is peripheral. Whether or not pay the MP backdated salary, significant but not actually the key issue. Whether or not apologize for this or that, significant but not the key issue. The key issue is we want the correct people that we've elected for in power. Now that democracy. So we want to enforce democracy in this thing. Yeah. So with tripartite is a step, but in and of itself is not the solution. And that's me one for saying on this issue.
All right, thank you very much, and Wadi. Now, except if JB want for coming quickly, if not, we will move on.
Yes, I do.
Yes,
I do.
please.
You see, did you get me loud and clear?
Clear, sir.
Right. Okay. I did mention two examples we don't use in the past. We adopt them clearly, not so. That's the Lome Accords and the Truth and Reconciliation Mechanism. It was not an enactment, like I earlier said, but it was then implemented properly, okay, and people acted on it or failed to act against it, okay. So why is that? Because people agree. Now that brings us to the tripartite, because the normal way of announcing leaders in this country, we all know from the creation of our democracy, people vote. Then they count, that's the expectation. Then they count each and every vote. And those votes are then tallied and those numbers recorded. And if there is a winner, a clear-cut winner as provided by the Constitution, that winner is announced. But where there is not a clear winner, then that will call in for a run-up like you saw back in 2018. That is fine. That's the way we appoint leaders in our country. Now, when that fails, and because of its failure, and we all know what you will see and what we understand by the elections. Say, number one, there was no symbol of following the system as it should. That is to make a clear-cut public counting and verification of the results. Okay, we never saw that. And so they then announced a result. We will not get anywhere for connecting to anything. The results were there announced. It means the normal way of appointing leaders or of dealing with the situation as it is has been, undermined. So we're not able to follow them. That brings us to what do we do in this case? These people there are offended. These people are offended, whatever it is. The best thing is for come together again and enter into another agreement. Where it will look like it make something like a contract. That's the formation of tripartite. It's called tripartite because not three interests. They form for they operate. Why? Now for balancing the equation. Now look what they say. If you go to the Supreme Court, you don't ever get 4 judges, you don't get 2 judges, 4 judges, 6 judges, 8 judges. They're always going to be an odd number. So that the third one, when they're the odd one, then go determine the votes for let them pass the law. So that people get what's called tripartite. We're not going to make us say dual parts of quadruple parts, not tripartite, so that it will be one person who must vote one side for bring justice. But all contractors, it only work when it's entered in good faith. What thing don't happen after the tripartite? We know all the fallout. The people like my chairman, they say, parties were required to perform certain functions because that's why they said they come in. Then thank God the tripartite do the very good job. Then work, they analyze everything, then come up with what they call 84 or 85 recommendations. Okay, 85. They can't recommend say that this for B. For settle everything, okay? Now, why would have settling those recommendations heal the situation? Because those recommendations, if followed, it will bring you back to normalcy as we should be. But what can happen, the question you need to ask yourself, was this tripartite signatory entered in good faith? In my view, it wasn't. Because all we saw, the players then begin for as if comply with the proposals. We saw His Excellency make a speech, address the nation as was required, and Dr. Samura Kamara make address of the nation as was required. So what we then expected was to follow it through step by step until 84 were actually acted upon and implemented, because that was the requirement of the tripartite. It has to be acted upon and implemented. Okay, once that is done, then we'll be at the same level we were before the crisis. That was the situation. But what can happen? I can tell you and not say, in my own personal view, it wasn't entered in good faith. That is why people then decide not for exercise their own responsibility, not to comply with it, disrespecting the time and the money spent by these people to sit down to find a way out of the mess. That I believe say, not responsible way. Tripartite is supposed to work perfectly, but it's not going to work because of which I just don't say. That I don't know how to say at this moment.
All right, you know, because the main reason why I ask all of this question, if these all tripartites are for actually, you know, correct certain things that maybe not happen in previous elections, them for make sure say the election where they come ahead of we go be totally different, and we not go cry foul. But we get a shocking, you know, revolution we come up. By the way, let's just remind everybody say this net we get Lance and Adumbuya, the Secretary General for the APC, where we can talk about the ECSL and the position right now with regards to 2028 election. You know, we get a shocking revelation from the ECSL chairman acting, we say the 2028 election not going to be different from the 2023 election and any other election. So that's why I better ask.
You want me to comment? You want me to comment on that?
Yeah, please go. If that's not be the position, why we get tripartite, why we get all the, why we talk about electoral reforms?
Now, the more reason, now, don't ask the question inadvertently. The more reason why we for continue standing until we get proper answers from the previous elections is to avoid repetition of the same thing, because that would be a precedent. Me, if not another way, tie me into standing and want to hear what actually happened on 2023 election, which I haven't even heard. I am hot because I voted, but I don't believe my vote was counted. Now you can see the person they act now, when they come back as the potential next commissioner, they say they follow the same thing. That tells you a precedent is being set. Now, what is wrong about precedent? If you set a bad precedent, it's going to be followed. But if you set a good precedent, it's going to be followed. Therefore, we want to make sure, like one day I don't know that the person says so, and said the 2023 elections is not over until it is over. Then I point down the way I hold firm to, because I don't want to be a party to where we set such a precedent. Because they say and say, well, this don't part, don't part. No. We they set history. We'll picking them tomorrow, and we can picking them tomorrow. Go ask me questions. What would have been doing when they set this precedent? And that makes some of who they say will disagree. Even if we lose the whole argument, I will still continue for say in losing, say I still disagree, because I wanted to see my votes counted publicly and minuted, and same entered into a tally system and be available for me to go and see that, oh yeah, this was the result. Those results were not published. Those votes were not even counted. Other sources they will tell you, say, even during the day of the announcement of the elections, some votes were not still back in Freetown yet. So that tells me that is a bad precedent if we go by him. And that make, now if you see now with current acting chairman, they make this, now for tell you say, well, they don't create precedent. But that shouldn't be followed. That's a bad precedent. You know, go tell well for picking them or picking them. And that make you get for stand firm, it makes sure electoral justice get an answer. Thank you.
Wadi, what do you take on that particular statement?
I mean, the lawyer Sise has been almost exhaustive in addressing this issue. So, now very, very, very small thing now. You notice you referred to Masako Esquire. If you remember, he absolutely refused to admit or accept that there had been mistakes in the last election. I mean, he danced all around that issue there for say, well, we forgot that court for decide whether there was or was not problems with the election. So in other words, even though the 84-85 resolution point out who side the problem then they, the Boku problem the way they, Masako seems to be blinded to this issue. as far as I'm concerned, then 80, almost as if then 84, 85 issues, resolutions, no exist at all. And this is the problem. If someone, a leading practitioner and operator within ECSL, cannot even at this late stage understand the problems that have been caused by their behavior, by their actions as an institution, then what hope is there for the current ECSL?
Thank you.
And I say this directly. We should clean that nest of vipers completely. Let's have people who are there who at least have enough consciousness and integrity to see the 2023 elections had major flaws and has delivered anything but the correct result. The 2023 elections, what we actually voted for has yet to surface, and we're already in 2025. So please, it is precisely because of people like Massacre that we have this kind of problem. How on earth he could go the last 2 years and is unaware that there are problems with the ECSL performance? That is sheer lunacy. It's as if the lunatics have taken over the asylum. Absurd in the extreme, let me tell you. But anyway, as you can see, I am far from happy with the way the ECSL has played this country. Literally played this country. They had the audacity to refuse to respond to a specific item in the tripartite agreement. Come here before he left, summarily, almost with contempt, dismissed requests for these results. I'm telling you, the behavior of the ECSL, the behavior of this illegitimate government sails very closely to treason. Let's understand what we're talking about here. We, the people, have voted. We, the people, have made a decision. And the ECSL and its cohorts have taken it upon themselves to deny us access to the results that we posted. It's difficult to find a more disgraceful response to the people's sovereignty to the nation. Very difficult to find an alternative. Anyway, as you can see, I'm not happy with the ECSL they do at all. And in my view, we will need a new ECSL populated by people with ability, with integrity, and with patriotism that we can trust that their decisions are valid. Now that's small.
Okay. All right. JB, with regards all of this thing, it is still the point finger say we election day under threat, democracy day under threat. So what's in our position right now with regards, or who say we all day right now? You know, have actually been they say let me wait small, you know, but on don't already come. The progressive, who say on day right now?
Well, the progressives' job at this moment now for encourage a conversation, because make no mistake, it's irrelevant whose partner the world you did, either at this salon or anywhere in the world. You're not a victim of what is happening in Sierra Leone, because you people, nobody know they were they abroad no get posting a salon. That is not true. We're in a salonian, salon descent. So therefore, it affects we all. Anywhere you find yourself, it affects we all. Now, to say, let bygones be bygones, is not the way forward. It's let's know what happened. If people are to apologize, they will. If people are to be told what to do, they will. All right? So we then move on from that step. But for just take it like a chairman be said, you know, say, this never happened, or pretend to say it never happened. Now, a misleading opinion. We need to address those issues. Now, when they talk about now, say, where are we? We are precisely at a point where we encourage the conversation. Now we can talk. Because one thing I say to people normally, if you stay quiet on a particular agenda where it will collectively affect you in the end, then don't complain if that effect take in your own position for affect you. When we're alive right now, it doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are, how illiterate or literate you are, we get into the conversation and find out why we went wrong and why we should avoid that and how we can avoid that, so that we'll get a better future. And that make the only thing they do now we're going to the conversation where some people take action, go to court. It may be or may not be listened to. As I know, the tradition I know now about me court lately, there are people's matters who can be listened to. There are other people's matters who cannot be listened to. So therefore, we still need to seek other forums. We go actually give the opportunity to listen to we. Let them hear we cry. Because who they cry? Me, I don't cry for a political party. I don't cry for a particular individual. I dey cry for my country in your future. That make would they go into the conversation. Let's talk about it. Let's love each other and talk about it. Let's put aside the divisive situation. We go divide families. Let's get a proper cohesion of our country. Let's be as if anybody get married to this, you go live with someone for live, now the whole country. Okay, so that kind of one established. Because what we see now in the last few years, we don't see a divisiveness, and that not for continue because that not they bring any good picking now in country. We get for be one people, as they always say, one country, one people. We are all one people. We must stay there. Okay, now whether that is something then they practice or not, it's up APC, All People's Congress. That means we all now get. So that party they give fine slogans in their names or in their own which they call a motto. However, I will live in it. That's where the conversation come into being now. We need to get the conversation. Let everybody, even the most what I would say, let's resource somebody. Again, talk with each other because not they talk not the senator. See, even the quiet still have something to say. Let's listen to them. Now that is senator say. But I don't know if you don't read that or somebody don't read them. That is it. So we get going to the conversation. That would promote the conversation. Let's hear each other. Let people vent their own anger. Let's point out where we need to make amendments. Okay? And then I decide what they right now, sir, if you ask me.
Just to buttress lawyer, as he says, position on this, with regards this conversation. This conversation we get to is long overdue. Long overdue.
Absolutely.
Because you don't reach them, let Salon talk to Salon about being Salon and defining the future that we want. And it must be absolutely inclusive. And at the point for this conversation, we want to make sure, say, whatever emerged from this particular experience will be something where, as Sierra Leoneans, whether you're in a Salon or you're a Sierra Leonean abroad, it makes no difference. Because we all have to be part of the forces that will shape this country where we all call home. And for do that, we have to be able to utilize the talents, the skills, the geniuses and resources of we all. No matter how we say we not Salon people there. This conversation have to begin to build that bridge there. Develop the fibers of connection that have been under so much stress. Begin to build that bridge there. So the real talent of Salon, them one way they are, na Salon, them one way they are abroad, na diaspora, we can face that entire talent there. Let we begin shape the kind of Salon where we all be done dream about, where we all be fed for. Now that, no more I think we have to bear in mind. The conversation is the beginning of healing Sierra Leone. This conversation is the beginning of developing the network and connections to transform this country. Now, precisely because we've not been able to develop a coherent and consistent voice. Now I make we get this lunatic here where they run this country. Anyway, over to you. Sengbe, I don't know are you offline or what?
Yeah, I did.
All
right.
Yeah, well anyway, now which I get for saying a brief. I don't make that point there. I don't get for rehearse the issue. Well, seriously.
Okay.
Over to you, sir.
All right. So maybe let's take on to one other issue where we see come up. And this again get to do with political detainees or political prisoners and other things then. We get an interview the other day, and then one person where been spend in time inside the Pademba Road come and tell me something where shock we all. One is a mass grave day inside Pademba Road, where now as a result of that April 2020 issue where it happened outside presidential guards then, as Lawrence Lima been say, they go shoot inside Pademba Road. Well, the government been showing grave in Watalo, but this person say Indian first and mass grave day inside Pademba Road outside and bury over 300 people in. And even go to the extent and say, if you watch what they make, then delay again with regards certain names them after the tripartite waiting for release, and because of that. And then the government don't get big time excuse say, as a result of the November 26th, attempted coup where they broke prison, now then most of them people in the door run away. So then don't get a simple excuse for escape from that mass grave day where they actually get inside Pademba Road. And instead, ready for take up that issue there to the best of your ability, and you don't begin to discuss with the United States government on issues them of that nature. So what do you not think about this? For let we get news like this, it comes to us as a news or nothing where we're not for surprised about. This will be the last part of the discussion. And JD.
Okay. To me, first of all, a tragedy. And then secondly, this news came to me for the first time. But I've been there because we office it did directly in front of, back of the Pademba prisons. Okay. If you see what really happened that day, tears go down your eye. There's nothing like guns inside the prison. As far as I know, you're not going to enter the gates with any weapon. It doesn't matter what it is. That gate. That's my understanding. But for there you see now an outburst for a long period of fire gun sounds to that place. It was kind of, I don't know how to describe himself. You know, so it was a tragedy. Now, for let we know again, begin to get see there is a mass grave in inside within the precinct of the prisons. Now, not a worrying situation. But this is what I want to say. In proper countries like the West, when one person dies in a controversial circumstances, now one too many. If not take 10 people and go, their heads and go roll. But amazingly, when this incident took place, all you know about what happened at Pademba Road, there was never, unless I miss some, a government press release as to what happened, what did not happen. There was never a time of setting up a commission of inquiry, which I never heard of if they did one. There was never a time in which any matters of those people that became victims were listed or announced to us. We should have been informed as a nation, the people we lost. Whatever happens, how that happened, we'll come to that. But we are never, nobody's told. Nobody knows, I don't know. Except the person who say you don't see a mass grave. I know one for say I will agree or disagree because I've never been behind inside Pademba Road prisons at the ground. I don't go inside Pademba Road for good time for get some people we get detentions. We happen for falling me on arm as a lawyer. I don't go there, but now outside or we meet now there at the stop. I see the ground at the back. I don't know who said the mass grave did. I not be able to know. Now the first time I did about that today. Okay. But I know say we don't pass a period of pain in Sierra Leone. I hope that is not behind us for good. I hope that will ever repeat itself. But that will also be the case if we are prepared to address the issues as we know them and bring them into to bear, to let all man to the wall. They will see what happen, okay, and how we prevent them. And we prevent them we must. Because otherwise, again, with the left country back to picking them, we're innocent about what happened today, only for can take other reprisals. That make with the effect for make sure say the mistake will happen, let it be preventable, let it be avoidable. We will avoid all. So now that's what I want to say for now. I don't get much for say because number one, any matter will be ever come na court say from the Pademba Road killings, massacres, or shootings, none of them are not here. So if you come na court, if any parent bring that matter kind of court, maybe I will get privy to that. But I don't get one idea apart from the you say that been take place because I saw it. We are always lying down on the floor when the firing they happen. We'll not be no side in the end anyway. And that will say na be a dark side of our history.
Okay.
I must say.
Wadi, you want to take on this?
Okay, I will start with a question. The first question here is this. Then tell we say 300 odd APC members then escaped from Pademba Road. What is so? Roughly.
Correct.
What is so then say? And what is amazing, then people here they escape, yet none them family them, nobody not see them none north side. Even now that there's effectively an amnesty, they still decide not to appear. That to me is rather strange, to put it mildly. How then people here, where they so want freedom so badly, they escape under those circumstances, and they not feel say the need for either contact any member of their family, even when more or less an amnesty exists now. They not contact non-them party members, them or their fellow comrades. They're none. We have to understand them people are escape. So this issue where somebody says see mass grave na Pademba Road, well, I think one of the first things this government, the next government, or the new government will have to do is to investigate these what could well turn out to be a hecatomb of corpses. That's a legacy of this government. I say could be. I also know for a fact that of the corpses that were taken to the mortuary after the Pademba Road, do you know for over 6 months they could not be identified? How are people in Pademba Road? You mean that the people there had no record of these people? Some people then say they were so battered, so injured that they could not discern who they were. Believe you me, this Pademba Road issue is not something that we're going to forget anytime soon. I mean, it is a profound stain on this nation's integrity, the quality of what it means to be a Sierra Leonean. But then go just make 300 people then disappear so, and we don't have the look, the catch we knows. No, sir. This is something we have to take a stand up. We will not forget this issue, and we will follow the issue to its conclusion. We must make that clear. They will be held accountable for the slaughter of Sierra Leone citizens if they have done so. If, on the other hand, then 300 people are then just wander off somewhere, they're not member outside the people there again. Okay, fine. But I think we've seen images of mass graves. So not to hear say no more. We've seen clips of that. And believe you me, if for nothing else, this nation deserves a new government. We deserve something better than we have right now. We deserve that. I mean, this is not a favor. As a nation, we have to give birth to a different kind of governance. And which I can tell one man, the pain we would feel now the birth pangs of a new system. So dear, let we gird our loins. We go transform this nation here. No worry. It has been painful. It has endured enormous suffering. But let me tell you, Salon will stand again. Mark my words on this issue. Anyway, saying Lano, take over the program, please.
Okay. Just the last thing now. Anything they were una want for touch on quickly in 2 minutes where we not touch on?
Okay. In line with how we ended. Thank you, Chairman. Sorry about this. Now people you reject and the court process. Sorry, just 1 minute.
Okay. The program where you watch now KOL RES site on we have on YouTube and on Facebook. And of course, when it comes to the end of the show now.
Yeah.
Yes, JB.
Okay, because the first said they go through the time. So sorry. What's in say again, sorry, rephrase the question again, please. Sorry.
Yes. I say anything day where we not touch on, but when I feel say important for Lona talk about, you can come up with them in 2 minutes.
No, okay. I need to call again. I don't reject that. Now the phone, not the SIM. But I go talk now quickly, I will say. The question was? Am I mute?
No, go ahead, Gideon.
So the question was, remind me the question again, please, quickly.
All right, so the phone one disturb you, just make you relax small bit and come back to you just now.
Okay.
Because the phone one disturb you really. Okay, well, anything the way you feel say you be one for discuss what we not touch on in 2 minutes?
Yes, I will use this opportunity for actually announcing this discussion with the so would they come up with a conversation again on the 29th, which is now literally tomorrow, next tomorrow, okay? On Friday. Would they meet now Walworth Road? We call on everybody, including you. I wish you'd been in London. Would they call on everybody for calm? It doesn't matter the color you carry. It doesn't matter your opinion. It doesn't matter where you're coming from, your status. That's not the issue. Not worry about your name. Sierra Leone must come back together because our strength lies in our unity. It is not in our division. So we all must come together. Let we can get a discourse. We get a freedom for let you can ask any question. Don't worry. You are under protection. Nobody's going to do anything to you. Nobody's going to say anything to you. You are under full protection. So they call people in for let them go come. Let we can get a discussion. The nature way you go take, now more we'll get people who can listen. answer some of them questions they ask you. But we try to forge ahead on how we will build a nation that is cohesive, a nation that works together, talks together, and encourage each other. Now that means we call that together to call and see in-house meeting. Okay, now the church will meet in Camberwell Road, World Road na Camberwell. Okay, so they look forward to everybody where they watch with they within the UK, of course, and not will say from abroad again. It's too late. But if somebody fly into England, please come to Camberwell area, World Road. We will do it on Friday, the 29th. Okay, now that one I go one for say before I pass, and one for check pamphlet and say we'll get a lot of things for do, but now we say get for do them. We'll not go to complain a corner, we'll not come on the public for can talk to the world, what thing we feel. Forget about if you don't have to talk Creole, no worry. If you have to talk a language, we'll find somebody for interpret. If you don't have to talk English, no worry. Me not use English at all. Unless where the context requires here for talk English. Otherwise, we don't need that. Let we can talk together as a family because we are one family in a saloon. I don't know if I go left. On that note, I say goodbye now. Goodbye.
All right, Wadi, anything there where you want to touch on quickly?
I'll be extremely brief. I mean, just want to say, they can say the power of the people is greater than the people in power. That na slow. The power of the people is greater than the people in power.
True.
And now that exactly we get for deliver Nayana. We the citizens, Naya, we wake in vote, and we for decide who that for government. Not to any group of cabal can decide they want them power with the governor, not to so salon day, and not to so salon go day. Naya, we the citizens, now we decide who that for government. I think say we for put that information there, that issue there, up front all sides. So all man understand what to make with it do, what to do. So nobody not get it right for supersede or for destroy or for oppress with sovereignty as a citizen. Now we get here. Not to the current government, we the citizens. Now we get here. And let we all begin understand that. Yeah, we're not there for serve the government. The government there for serve we. Let we understand that. That means say there's certain rights where we get, and one of them now for elect who that we want for government. Now for decide how we want this nation to be. Well, that right they get for TINAP. We not agree let them kind people here supersede that, terrify people, and so they run away from their own rights. We not agree. We will have our rights. We go decide who that for government. I want let do like we don't do up to now. Keep that message there going so people then can begin rediscover the confidence of their citizenship of Salon. What do we fit for the kind of Salon that will be in existence for many generations to come? So let we not form fool with this thing. Let we insist the Sierra Leone of our vision, the Sierra Leone that was bequeathed to us by our parents and our forefathers. Let we make sure that say that Salon come through. We are remarkable people, boy. Just to finish, say in 1700s, now they Salon Nayaso, woman they vote in the 1700s. It's not till the 1920s now woman get vote in Europe, in England and America. That's how far ahead we have been. Let we remember we set in that context. Let we shape a Salon that we can all be proud of, that the world can be proud of. Anyway, as I said, this is the seedbed for a new democracy. And thank you. Yeah, I hope I not talk too much to one.
Okay. Thank you very much, Wadi Williams. Thank you very much, JBCC, for one taking time for joining inside the program this morning. We appreciate your time and I look forward for another fruitful conversation when it necessary for we get down in there. Thank you, and we wish you all too a very good day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, and we want to tell thank you to our producer for the show. We make recounts them this kind of program to you this morning. And thanks for all we don't watch, we don't like, we don't share. We appreciate you now. Thank you very much. My name is Nasembe, the freedom fighter, until we meet again some other beautiful time. And for say we love you also very much. And please get yourself a very, very good day.
Well, a very serious problem. In the first instance, when things like happen in any country, it can almost develop into some kind of embarrassment for the country. That drugs then just come overtake almost everything in this country. So some of who will not just believe for the criticize, we also believe so for come with solutions and observations. So the letter was just a piece of a letter which I wrote to the president to just remind him that it's his responsibility for help for make we all fight this whole menace. And also importantly, we all not forget, say, only a few months, a few weeks ago, we all been concerned about the push in this country. We don't overtake everything. All of us are victims. One of my grandpicking them going to Kush. We almost lost him. And a good number of people have been destroyed, young people. And we all keep on saying that the young people are the future of this country. They can